call the meeting to order then. We gotta approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Are we gonna modify it? Or not yet? Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Okay.
Citizens address the council. We got let Lola start us off.
After,
If anybody has anything to say.
if anybody
No,
wants to
this is
say.
Hey.
anything else.
I was gonna speak during the public address.
Yep.
Just wanted to kind of roll this out there. Some of you know that I started a Facebook page, for kind of public communication and transparency. So I was just gonna kind of speak a little bit today about, some ideas I've had since moving back here. So, good afternoon. My name is Nicole Harrison. Some of you may recognize me a little bit better by my main name, which is Nicole Jones. I realize that I'm a young, newly returned resident to the community, and obviously rocking the boat a little bit on how things have traditionally been done. But honestly, like I said, I'm here with just the goal of kind of fostering solutions and contributing to the growth and success of Pocahontas overall. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I do believe in kind of dialogue and collaboration to help find the answers to certain problems and generating certain ideas. So my goal is to raise concerns that matter to our residents and generate ideas and or propose actionable steps to address them. So this afternoon, I want to focus on the issue that directly impacts our community's growth and engagement, which is city administration communication and transparency. So kind of starting with the timing of these meetings, holding a city council meeting at 3:30 during a workday, and I know normally usually at 4:30, is still pretty restrictive as to who can actually attend them. Definitely kind of limits particularly young generations and working professionals who want to kind of participate, but can't necessarily make those timing obligations. So just wanted to throw out there, if we want a more engaged community, we definitely need to make it easier and create some more access to these meetings, whether that be kind of live streaming like I've chosen to do today, or, making it at a different time. I recognize you all have personal lives too, and definitely don't want to intake on that time either, but definitely just making them more accessible overall to the community. So wanted to throw out there that definitely could live stream from your own city Facebook page and make it accessible to the community that way. I know it's been very successful for the school board over the last couple years when they've chosen to do that. So wanted to throw that out there as an idea. Definitely think agendas and meetings should be a little more easily accessible. I learned that they're physically posted in 3 locations, but definitely not anywhere on like the city website or the social media page at all there. So I've kind of taken upon myself to locate those agendas. Usually the day before the meeting is when I understand they're posted, and make those accessible on the social media page as well. I hope to do so with the minutes after the meetings are over, and making those accessible to the public as well. Definitely think that you guys could do that though from your own city website, or again from the Facebook page, whether it's just using a public Google Drive. Again, I know the school does that, or a similar tool to kind of house those documents for reference. So currently the primary mode of communication with residents is through the Record Democrat, and I know that you're gonna, again, elect an official city paper later today, but I assume it's kind of going to be the Record Democrat. It just logistically makes sense. I took it upon myself to reach out to the Record Democrat, and within the city limits, there's 376 active subscriptions. So in a town of 1,800, we're definitely limited in the reach that the newspaper gets to. So again, kind of going to the city website and the social media pages, a lot of that information could be shared. I know the Record Democrat does a great job of sharing their own stories on their social media page, and by reposting those on the city Facebook page, I think would help engage the community into what's going on, and then also just show support for the officials newspaper of the city. I do think it's important to also note that the city code is not accessible on our city website. So in order to get to the city code, I actually had to go to the chamber website and look at their website to get to our own city code, which I think should probably be addressed. So, like I said, in an attempt to address this gap, I created that public Facebook page. Planning to share the meeting agenda, minutes, updates, kind of provide a platform for residents to generate ideas, start some discussions, both publicly and anonymously through a Google Doc and a Google form. Within hours of launching this page, definitely received a lot of positive feedback, which was awesome, and some meaningful engagement from the residents. But unfortunately, very disheartened to see that the chief of police publicly questioned the authenticity of this page, suggesting it was very misleading without actually taking the time to investigate the purpose of the page. That was clearly stated multiple times. You know, this type of reaction definitely discourages residents from taking initiative and trying to contribute positively to the community. So instead of jumping to conclusions, definitely want to start fostering collaboration and supporting efforts of transparency and engagement. Again, a little more on social media, definitely a very valuable modern communication tool. So Emmitsburg and Manson have successfully used their social media, often in conjunction or in support of the chamber for their respective cities, and I think that would be kind of an important movement going forward. I know Parker's done some really great things for the chamber, and I think it'd be really cool to highlight that on our own city page. Again, kind of was disheartened. It was suggested that I take a media management course. I do have previous experience running an NCAA Division I Power 4 sports medicine department page that interacts with there's like thousands of users. And so while I don't profess to have a great social media marketing background, I do have experience, and I thought it was a little hypocritical with some of our own official websites and pages with the grammar we choose to use, the abbreviations we choose to use, and overall just like the professionalism that comes across on our social media pages. So again, social media wanted to use it as a first impression of our town, and should definitely embody the pride and sense of the community that we strive for in Pocahontas. But that would ensure that the city officials posting under their titles or with little city icons by their names on official pages are doing so respectfully and with awareness to how their actions and words will be perceived, especially by others that may not be in our community, because that's just going to be kind of a detraction from our community in the future. Social media is free. It's not going to take any of your budgeting. And so I think that you could definitely use it in a professional way that showcases the town and highlights what makes Pocahontas unique and special. So want to close, again, here because I care deeply about Pocahontas, care about its potential, have chosen to raise my son here, and want to make sure that those opportunities exist for him. So just want to try to bridge the gap between the administration and the residents by embracing transparency, accessibility, and professionalism. Again, changes don't require the large budget, just kind of a willingness to adapt and listen to the needs of the community. So I thank you for the time to allow me to speak at you today, and look forward to speaking at future meetings as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll say so. Council members to appoint one of the following for the position of mayor. We're going to table that subject at this moment.
Until the February 18th meeting would be the soonest we could do that. And next is Lola.
Good afternoon. So I'm here today to talk a little bit about the library and what what it's doing with our taxpayers' dollars and what we do for our community. We feel that we are a big part of our community and we are a positive part of our community. And so we're gonna go in here, and one of the things we do in our community is literacy, and that is a big plus. We start with the young kids, we start with babies actually, toddlers, preschoolers, and we have a lot of things that we start there for skills, for families, trying to get people that are not proficient in reading, they can come to us and we can help them try to find some books and things that maybe will interest them, get them reading. We have, under literacy, we have story time, so we have 15 to 20 children that attend weekly. They have a lot of fun. We do books, we do activities, we do crafts, and the checkouts to the kids, we have over 7,000 a year, and this is all these things are done through the year. We have over 1,200 programs that we do for the kids, and that includes summer reading, and then of the summer reading, we have 155 kids from the community. Some are rural, some are in town, some might be somebody's grandkids who are visiting for a week or something. And so we have 155 kids that do that, which is a great thing, because if they're doing that, they are reading, and when they go back to school in the fall, they're helping retain some of that they would forget over the summer. We have a baby bag program, so when somebody has a new child, a newborn, we actually send them a letter and they come in, and then we have a bag that has some books and talks about literacy in the bag. And we have makerspace. We've had over 1,400 kids, adults, whoever that come in and have used the makerspace area. And we have everything in there from coloring pages to electronics to manipulatives. So it gets used quite a bit in the library. We also are a digital inclusion library. So we do a lot of things, computer, internet. We have a lot of people that come in and use it. We had over 2,000 people who came in to use our computers, and they are all free. There is no cost for them to do it. We also have Wi-Fi, and our Wi-Fi is hooked up 24/7, so you can sit there after hours, and we've had some, and some in the middle of the night. We've heard that there are some that come and use it. But that's a great thing, and it's open for everybody to use. We have a website. If you go into our website, you will find things on there that you can actually use. We have a homework help. We have a Job Vet Now program on there. We have something to the CDL, so if you want to do a CDL test, you can go in there and check that out as well. We are also considered tech savvy. We have a lot of technical things, iPads and the computers and everything, and we do try to help people when they come in and they say, oh, my phone's not working, because it says something about an update. Well, we'll show them how to put it update. And a lot of them need Wi-Fi to do that, and a lot of them do not have Wi-Fi at home. So they will come to our library to use that. And we also have something called audio and ebooks. These are done on our website. You use a library card number, and you can go in and you can check out an audio or an ebook. And we've had over 5,400 of those checkouts, which is a great thing too. We're also considered a community hub. We have a lot of people that come for programming. We have a lot of people that want to come just to talk to their neighbor. And we have book clubs, and we have a meeting room. So we have all kinds of things that they do. Our adult programming, we have 519 programs. We have done, people have come in and they've used the library for interviews. If they want to interview for some job, they might come in and use the library. We have had other meetings that come in, and we've had Girl Scouts and possibly Boy Scouts a few times. I'm not sure if there's one now, but we did have Boy Scouts. So we have a lot of clubs that come in and use the library. Our community room was used 216 times last year, which is great, and it shows that people know that it's there and they can use it. Our daily door count is over 12,000, and that is the number of people who walk through our door every day. And we have probably around 25, 30, somewhere in there, we have, that daily. It seems like we get done at the end of the day. I think the other day it was 45 that walked through that door, and I was like, okay, where did this come from? When we have story times, we get a big crowd that day as well. Reference questions, those are reference questions are the ones that when people come in and they ask us things, and they're like, I don't know what book to read next, help me find a book, reference question. Or I'm looking for somebody's phone number, or I'm looking for an address for somebody. Those are all types of things we do, and we actually do that all through the year. And so we're used to doing that, and people know to come. I mean, people have come in and they've asked us, what can I do in Pocahontas? You know, they figure if I come to the library can tell us some of the things that are going on. And so we try to share things and try to keep up to date on what's going on in Pocahontas. We do history, we keep history, we store things in our library. And a lot of things for the community. We do a lot of research. We have genie things in there, so if you wanna know about your grandfather and they lived in Pocahontas, you can probably find maybe a death record and that in there. We also have our newspapers online, and that's one of the beauties of the library. If you go and you guys want something, to know something, you can actually go to our website and you can look up the newspaper, and they're up until, I think it was June of 2024. We actually have all that information online right now. And several years ago, somebody was like, I need to know who the grand marshals were in Pocahontas, and they wanted a list. And so we actually looked all that up and found them, and we did it through the newspaper. So there's a lot of things you can look that way. It's great if there's something, you've got a grandfather and they were prominent in the town, and you wanna say, oh, I'm gonna go put their name in. And if you put their exact name in, it'll come up. And it might say, oh, well, they were on city council, or they were the head of this committee, and you kind of learn things that you might not have known about that person. And so that's kind of exciting too. The time capsule, that one, you guys have it here now. That was stored at the library. That's been at the library for the last 25 years, until now you're gonna open it again, hopefully this year, right? Okay. So that is here now, and if you want to know what is in that time capsule, you can actually go to our newspaper and you can type in time capsule, and it will tell you what they actually put in it, so you can know what it's in before they even open it. And so, you know, and then if you want to decide what you're gonna put in it, if you're gonna redo it again, that's one of the fun things about that too. We also we support educators. We have a lot of homeschoolers that do come in and they want books on different subjects, and so we try to keep up to date on those. We have in our library 26,997 items, so we have quite a few books. So hopefully there's something there for everybody. We do try to keep our resources updated, because those books, somebody's not gonna want a book that was from 1979 when we have something that's from 2024. So we try to weed the books, and we have to for accreditation. And the reason we do that is so that we can take those books and bring in new ones. So we have to get rid of 3% of our books every year, and then we have to also purchase another 3%. That is part of our accreditation and getting us to keep the library moving forward. We do proctoring. We've had several people that have come in and had to have a test proctored, and they know that the libraries are a place that they can go to do that. We have inclusion. We promote anyone can use the library. Everyone can use the library. We don't care what nationality, what economic place you are, we use the library. We have a physical building, walk in, you can do it that way, and we also have online. So we have a lot of people that do not come into the library, they just go to our website and they can check out books on the website, they can use all the other resources there too. So that's a great thing. We do book deliveries in Pocahontas, and we did 55 last year, and that includes people who are sick, includes people maybe if they broke their leg or something, or elderly people who have a hard time getting out. We are willing to drop books off at their place. And then our total checkouts was over 13,000 is what we checked out last year. So we move a lot of books through our library. A lot of those are also large print books. We have a lot of people who prefer large print, and so that is part of that as well. We also have other qualities that we do is services. We do faxing and copying, and we have a Wi-Fi printer. So if you want to come in with your phone and say, hey, I need to get something printed off, we will help you get that printed off of there instead of having to, if some of them come in and then they're like, well, I can't remember my password to my email, so it's like, fine, you just take it off your phone and do it that way. We have an online card catalog, so you guys can actually check out what we have in the library from home, which is a great thing too, and you can see it, and you can see if it's out or not, or if you need to reserve it. We do Libby, which is the audiobooks. We have homework help. The homework help is on the website. You just have to make up your own account, and when you get in there, you can actually, there are tests in there for grade school kids. There are library tests in there too, if you wanna learn more about your library, or if you think you know more about books. But one of the best things in there, there's a tutor service in there. It's free. You set it up when you go into your account, and you can actually have a live tutor come on at a certain time, and then they will help you with your homework, whether it's math or whatever it is. So that's kind of a plus for our community to have that, for people to help. We also community partners. We do a lot of partnering with people in Pocahontas. We use the Iowa State Extension. We do the schools. We do book talks with them. We do library card signups with them. We have a women's club who supports us, and we also they meet at our place. We have a traveling story time, and we also have book talks at Arlington. So those are some of the people we partner with. So we do try to keep ourselves out there in the community and help where we can. The budget on the back page you can see is what it was for this last year was $126,292. It was revised because of the raises, so the actual should be 128. And then below we have our 25-26 budget that we would like to ask for, and an increase in wages, but we go with whatever the city council goes with. So we put that down. We had to have a figure, so we put something down, but we follow whatever you guys do. And then we'd like an increase in my budget line of books. Our books are getting really expensive. I didn't realize this year until I started ordering some. Used to order them for $12, $15. Now we're 18, and the other day it was 22. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't want to have to spend 22, and that's with a discount. So unfortunately, that is kind of a damper on that, because we do buy books. I mean, we buy the large print, regular, audios, children's, junior books, which are the kids that are in grade school, and we have teen books. So that has to spread for all of those books, and when they increase, that makes a big difference. Also, our travel and conference, we asked to up that a little bit because of staying overnight in a hotel hasn't gotten any cheaper. But that conference, we need that. It gives us the information of what the state library is doing, what is going on, and we meet with other directors, and we find out what they're doing, and maybe we can bring some of those ideas back to our library. And then the other one was in the dues, memberships, and subscriptions. We have our the circulation desk, which is where we check the books out. Well, we have that is supported through this atrium, and that raised another $100, so it's over $1,000 a year we do for that one just to keep our circulation going. We have our copy machine, which has a contract on it to help us, and that one has gone up too in price. So with all of that being said, we are proposing the total budget with all this figured in comes out at $136,258. So that's where we're at right now. Down below you can see other sources of resources. The state library gives us a little bit. Our fees and fines, we don't get a lot, but we do get some from them. The supervisors, that is what we are getting now from the supervisors. We did ask for a 6% increase, but whether we get it or not, we don't know, so I just put that in. And then the library levy is the last thing that's sitting there, and we don't know where that's going right now. I think that comes to the city and we don't get it actually. Is that correct? We don't get it yet?
I'm not sure.
I think it goes to the city and the city has to decide if they're gonna let us have it or not, for right now. They're working on possibly, changing that, but we'll see if that happens or not. And then on the very back is a picture of the budget, so you can see, budget lines and where everything is going, and you can see how much is for each line. We do also have in there, insurance comes out of there, and capital improvement, that's, $1,600, that goes into a special fund, we don't get to spend it unless we have to repair a sidewalk or do something like that, then that comes out of there, but that is taken out of the budget as well. And so is the utilities, it's all taken out of there too, so you can see price on that too. Does anybody have any questions? All right.
What's the trust fund?
That is trust and agency of the city. That is the city, so the salaries come out of the trust fund instead of the actual budget, however they do it, yes, that's how that is. So that's what they've always called it, so we've always left it that way, so, yeah. I just wanna leave you with a little quote, this Vicki Myron, she used to be the director up at Spencer Library, and here's what she says. A great library provides. It is enmeshed in the life of the community in a way that makes it indispensable. A great library is one nobody notices because it is always there and always has what people need. And that is what we try to do, is try to meet the needs of the people in our community. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's the worst part of the job, isn't it?
Yeah. It's okay.
Can I have one of your pamphlets?
Yeah, I'd be really interested.
I'll give you mine, or I'll get you one.
Can you email me?
Yep, I'll do
I
it.
say I can stop in too.
Yep,
So,
that's your good.
2000 council meeting. calendar.
So, you've got your bills, pages in there, you can rip that out and sign it, approve that. Some of those had to get paid before the meeting because we pushed the fax up out, we didn't want to miss any deadlines. Or due dates, I guess, I should say. And if you dig through here, there's a 2025 calendar. You take a look at that. Currently, we meet on the first and third Monday, unless you wanna change that date. Or if you glance at the calendar real quick and see a holiday that's on a Monday, then we can pick another day.
Don't have one coming up.
Yes, 17th of February is gonna be on the
We
18th.
really need to discuss the next line before we discuss
What is?
the calendar,
Did I skip one?
vacation,
Not,
whatever that is.
That's
That's next.
That's next.
So the holidays,
Yeah,
the
that's
calendar
next.
work, yeah.
you know, what we decide on that's gonna make a difference on it,
Mhm.
if you're working on a Monday or not.
I checked some of them, so if you flip to the next page, it shows our current holidays. Way off here to the right, I put what day it falls on for 25. And if it falls on a Monday, I feel we don't need the 11 o'clock on the Friday before. So, that's only removing 1, 2, 3, 4 half a days. Thanksgiving, I would ask for the Friday after.
So, are we moving towards the next item? Cause I have some discussion on that before we decide if we're gonna do half days or not.
I say we keep the city council meeting schedule the same.
Okay, so,
So,
I
if
make
you're
a
all,
motion to keep the council meeting.
There we go.
but that's fine, but
okay, who seconds that?
We need a second for the calendar dates on the first
I'll
and third.
I'll make a motion to second, keeping the council days on the first and the third.
Okay.
All in favor? All opposed?
Now.
Now,
Now we're on this page, I'm sorry.
So, I asked to have this put back on there, we had this table, a couple times now. We added a bunch of holidays. And holidays that a lot of the other cities don't get off, which is fine, but I don't think in any way we need a half a day off on, before any of them. They have PTO time, they have vacation time. I think that got started and kind of bloomed into what we got now. So,
So you're proposing we
So I'm making
remove
a-
all.
I'm making a motion to remove all half a days before any holidays. No more half days unless you use PTO time.
We have a second.
So that was still giving all
Well, that's still giving all them,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 holidays. And it used to be probably just.
It was 9. We added 3 this year.
we had them way back when, we had them.
Just last fall, just since I've
Did
been
we
here.
do that since Jada was here?
There's a motion,
I made the motion.
you made the motion, so.
We can still discuss.
How do you feel about Friday after Thanksgiving?
We need to stick to that schedule there. I just don't think we need
The half a day off
to have,
before.
you got vacation time, right?
I feel it's either you're gonna take the half a day, either half a day or a half a day in the 6 holidays or the 12 holidays and no half days, not both.
Okay.
Either have
That,
So either have
Well, no.
New Year's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas as your 6, and a half a day. Or no half days and all 12.
just the days.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. Which is what.
Can't have.
No, I made the motion that there's no half a days. We keep all these with no half a days.
Which is, yeah, that.
It's kind of the same thing you're
Yes.
saying. And do we wanna leave Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, as a holiday, a day off, or?
If that's how it's currently set up.
No,
It's not.
currently we work the day after Thanksgiving.
I would leave it.
And if they want the day off
Want
after
the day off.
Thanksgiving, they
Take
got
it.
vacation.
I'll second Dean's.
Okay, so we ended up leaving all 12 holidays, no
All
half.
12 holidays, and no half days.
And no Friday, yeah.
No Fridays before the holiday.
Okay?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
All right. The next one, this is a grant that Parker's gonna speak to regarding the site of the Mexican restaurant and what we're gonna do with Heritage Park.
Do you want me to fill in the details?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Hometown Pride got a grant and they'll actually be.
Agenda item.
You skipped an agenda.
We did?
Guidelines for the city.
Oh, yeah. So as we know.
Sit
Sorry,
back down,
Parker.
Parker.
Up, down, up, down. So as we know, the city had a very beautiful pile of black dirt set aside for city projects. And unbeknownst to us, all of a sudden half of it was gone. Not all of a sudden, but over a few days, half the pile is gone. We were given this money, dirt from the county. We are not allowed to make money on that dirt. We need to set up some kind of guidelines. Is it gonna be free to the community? Is it not? Do we need to put it somewhere else? Do we need to put a sign up? You guys gotta draw a line in the sand because it really caused a mistake.
Because, I mean, it was set up before where what was taken was perfectly legal and where it was in place before, how we did it before, right?
Yes.
So you change it now and.
About the only thing you can do is
Move it.
take it and move it, and it would be off limits. That's about the only way.
Okay,
What would it?
so then that's our guy's time.
Or you could just put something like,
I'd say,
where are you gonna move it all to?
They talked about the other side of some
I
trees.
don't know if they're gonna move it all again, just.
Yeah, it'd be our guys taking the day.
Oh, there isn't much left of those.
So, sign and
I
it's all.
think
said it's not much better.
let everybody know that anything down there is off limits without permission.
Prior
Yeah.
permission.
Like,
can do
it's
that.
just gonna be anything.
We can get that out there. That is gonna be a change though for the public, so just know
Just have to
that.
publish
It's
it.
just,
that can
it
be
had
done.
always been that people assumed that file was free, but
And legally, if you want to enforce it, you have to sign it.
what was that?
Legally, if you want to enforce it, you have to sign it too.
So
You have to put a
sign-
sign. Put a sign up. Yeah.
we can do that. Nope, nope. Okay, now Parker.
So the Hometown Pride Committee got a grant to put like a handicap accessible patio at Heritage Park, because there's a picnic table that's there currently, but it's on the grass, so it doesn't really do much in terms of handicap accessibility. I believe the project, I think Laura, you have it in the packets, right?
Mhm.
So the grant, the project itself was like 8,000, and Hometown Pride, I think, got 3,000 or 4,000. It was like halfway funded. And so Hometown Pride is just wondering if the city would be willing to contribute $2,000 to help finish this patio. There's a couple other businesses that Hometown Pride will be asking that we think will benefit from having that there. But it is just to kind of improve the park, make it more accessible, and just make it a nicer area that's on our main street. Heritage Park is the gazebo on Main Street. And kind of to go with that, the next thing on the agenda is for a mural that's gonna be going up on the wall of El Amigo pending your guys' approval. But El Amigo has signed an agreement that they are happy to let us use their wall and put up a mural in time for our Sesquicentennial celebration this summer. The chamber will be paying for that with Sesquicentennial funds as kind of a more commemorative thing instead of spending all of the money on entertainment for just that weekend. That will also be a commemorative piece that will be at the park. So those two things kind of go hand in hand because they'll be right next to each other to just improve that area. But you guys won't have any cost for the mural. It's just agreeing that, hey, we're gonna work together with community organizations like Hometown Pride to keep it up and make sure it looks nice as the years go by.
Do you know what it's gonna be?
No, but we do have Shelby Mitchell, and once this is approved, we'll sign a contract with her. She's an artist out of Humboldt. She's done some other murals. She did one in Humboldt. She did one in Emmitsburg. I've talked with Gretchen there, and she said she was great to work with. Gretchen wants to work with her again. And so when we sign the contract, she'll start a design. When we get that design, you guys will get to look at it and approve it before it just goes up. But she hasn't drafted it yet because we haven't signed a contract with her.
So the 2,000 that we would be contributing would go towards this Heritage Park. What else is?
Like the patio area in front of it, the
Okay.
seating area.
And what is it just like pavers? Is it-
Yes. Yep.
Is that what it is?
How big would that be?
Kareem Peterson put in the grant, it's I don't know if that's in the information I sent you, but I think it was like 14 by 16 feet.
What is the relationship on the park since we don't own it? What do you say owns it, don't they?
Oh.
Heritage Park?
My understanding is that you guys lease it from Okie State.
We just keep them updated on what we're gonna do. They don't really ever say.
How long is it, like, do we lease it on, how many basis or what is it? Because put $8,000 into it. and
That's why I just wondered what is the.
And they are aware of this. Before we applied for the grant, we said, hey, this is what we're thinking of doing. So they are aware of it, and then it's been fine with it, yeah. Because last year, the city guys, I think, were the ones that tore out the old like railroad ties that was kind of overgrown and didn't look so great. So the idea is this patio, it's not gonna be the full length of the building, but it will kind of replace that to make it look nicer.
And easier accessible,
Yes.
right.
Does that go up against the building?
Yes, that is the plan for this patio, to go up against the building and come out 14 or 16.
Well, you have to contribute to.
2,000,
Yeah, it's in Pocahontas State Banks.
probably out of the hotel, like where we were
Okay.
taking that, so I have
And there's one that
Is there?
30,000.
So you're asking for 2,000. I'll make a motion to contribute 2,000 to the Heritage Park project.
I'll second.
All in favor?
pages after that are for the mural. Just like he said, all this is understanding that the city takes on no how's it go, Parker? El Amigo takes on no
Yeah.
Liability.
liability for having the mural painted.
Yes.
And if we're okay with that, it's a yes or no.
And it's 100% paid by chamber.
Yes. The chamber's gonna cover the mural out of the sesquicentennial money that's been fundraised.
So is our motion to just take on the responsibility of the painting then, or? is that-
Yeah, there's just so Noelle Murray is on our chamber board and she just drafted up kind of a agreement to acknowledge the restaurant has no liability, the city's the liability, and the city chamber and other civic groups will work together on the maintenance of it over the years. That's the gist of it.
So if someone gets hurt up there painting it, then it's the city.
Right.
We need a motion.
Need
Is
a
that
motion?
something we need to,
I was gonna say, check with
lawyer
our
look
lawyer.
into it?
I can.
I guess, I'm just questioning the
Liability part.
liability of who has insurance on the park.
Okay.
In the lease of the park,
So we'll table it for now.
and
Can you just ask the
Do
lawyer,
some
just send the contract to the lawyer to make sure it looks okay, that we're not.
and just see if we have anything on the lease of the park.
Can do.
Is that something you think you'll have in your like February meetings?
Yeah, we could.
Okay.
Yep.
Because Shelby is wanting to get it painted before it gets to like the heat of summer, which I'm like, great, because projects just take time.
Yeah, I'll send it off to the lawyer
And
tomorrow.
I'm sure like the design phase, cause you know, you guys gotta approve her.
Yes, and that's just it, because we want to make sure you guys see it, we want to make sure the Pocahontas State Bank gets to look at it too. We'll show it to El Amigo too, so everyone who kind of has a hand in it, feels comfortable with the design.
Sounds good, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so next is to discuss the open position and our thoughts as to how we want to handle the needs we have here at City Hall. So I got you the full job descriptions. The city clerk is a position appointed by council. If we went with the utility billing clerk like we did with Kyle, it would be part-time, just like we started with Kyle. And support for Kyle while we go through all our trainings, which start next week.
Have we, had any more applications?
There have been a few, yes.
For the city clerk,
No,
or what? Utility?
no, it was for city clerk, I'm sorry, yeah.
And so they're not in this packet?
I feel maybe we should kind of make a committee to look over the applications and then have bring it back to the council.
Okay.
Of what's needed.
Do you wanna go ahead and appoint Kyle to city clerk and then look through the applications for the backup position, or which way do you wanna do it?
I think we should wait on that and
Okay.
look through the applications first to see
Okay.
what's there.
I can tell you there is no other city experience.
Need to
Which
look
is all
at-
I can say.
Need to look
Yep.
at the applications.
We can do that. Okay. Do you wanna set up a committee now, or who do you want on the committee? Who are you thinking?
I don't,
I mean,
If the position's gonna be appointed by you guys,
There should be two of us.
two of you.
Two of you.
And you and,
yeah,
Maybe one outside person or.
okay, so
I'll be on.
Dean, okay. And then me. And then we report back to you guys?
Another council member, right?
you wanna be on it?
oh, sure.
Staring at me like, you kind of said something.
You brought it
Okay. That'll work.
And
We
then
can do
who are we
that.
gonna assign the outside person to?
Well, we have to talk to see who we can.
Yeah, we'd have to talk about that one.
We, like,
Can we talk about it right now?
we can't, right, just mean we'll have to talk to them before we can
Yeah.
assign.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can't just assign them.
Right.
Can't just go, hey,
Yeah, but we gotta get the ball rolling,
Right.
because I wanna get this kinda
yes,
buttoned up and
please.
get it taken care of.
Weavers with the,
Yeah, it's probably somebody that
it's doing good.
Parker?
Mary Jo,
Mary Jo?
I'll do it
whisper
if no one
children.
else, I will
If no one
gladly,
else, nobody else is saying.
I will gladly help in any way I can, so if you'd like me on it, I'll be on it.
That was easy.
We're gonna get a fight over it.
Okay, then we got, the next piece is, we need to look at the number 1 that's highlighted and the number 5. The verbiage has changed for this particular contract. Legal is fine with it going this way, but the verbiage has changed from what's going on with the other contracts. So I didn't know if
How are the other contracts read, or what's the change?
the other, okay, so the other contracts, they would pay the $50,000 when they buy the land.
Okay.
This one is gonna put 10,000 down and then make payments starting after the house is built.
After the house is built?
Well, it says, deed set forth, paragraph 6 below, after the completion of those, yes.
So they're gonna buy the lot.
It's all in the same family. It's if the city is okay with only getting 10,000 at first versus the 50.
That's starting up roughly.
But I think if this passes, then every single person, I mean,
Right.
everybody's
That's
gonna
why
want
I
that.
brought it to council, so you guys can tell me
And
what
the
you
people
wanna
that
do.
bought it, I mean,
4 have already
yeah, I've already,
paid for their lot.
yeah.
How do you buy something? After the house?
Yep, so we're gonna say denied. Legal was okay with it. I ran it through Eric and he said he didn't see it.
I guess the only way that I'd be comfortable with it is if, you know, from now on, because everybody from now on is gonna wanna do it that way, are you okay with every single person that buys a lot out there doing it that way?
I doubt it because of the balance.
Because, and then too, when the house is complete, somebody could,
Sweep in and buy the whole thing.
but not that, but, I mean, how long is it gonna take to complete the house too?
They
Right.
only have 18 months.
To complete it, or to start building?
No, complete it.
They have 18 months to start building, complete it when they start building, or when they buy the lot.
They have 18 months to
When they buy the lot.
buy the lot.
Lot.
You're not gonna get a house built in 18 months from buying a lot. There's no way.
That's,
I still think they ought to pay for it up front.
I think if we start one change, we're gonna create a mess.
And then the change on the number 5.
Number 5 is he wants an abstract instead of a deed. So it'll show down here, it says mercantile title, name of the seller, blah, 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 blah. It's just a different legal form that he wants, instead of just a deed, like a quick deed, he wants the actual abstract.
He's an expert over there, what do you need?
Yes, you covered
Yeah.
Katie was hiding.
Out the back door, Katie.
I wanna roll on up.
Yeah,
Is there
please.
any benefits or issues with,
You guys should be providing them abstracts anyway.
Yeah.
If you really want, you asked.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you my opinion, if you ask, you should be providing them abstracts anyway. Typically, any of my real estate contracts are going to ask that the seller provides a clean abstract. If you can't prove that those lots out there don't have clean title, I'm not telling my buyers to buy them. So, and I'm pretty sure abstracts were prepped.
that's, I mean, I think we were providing.
Just FYI, from the number of times I've sat in on these meetings, pretty sure there are prepped abstracts.
okay,
The abstract should be turned over to any of those sellers that you've already sold
okay.
to.
Can
You don't
change
want
the
those.
verbiage on that to just be standard practice?
Yeah, we can do that. Okay,
I'll make a motion to change the section 5 to always provide the abstract.
Second,
No, second.
all in favor? All opposed?
What about one? I would make a motion to reject the change in the proposal on,
for number 1.
for number 1.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, so 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all things that will happen at the first of every year. So it says we are designating, what's the first one? That I'm allowed to make approval and make payments of the regular bills.
You skipped one.
Oh. Okay, so economic development has asked if we had any extra space where we could put Little Miss Mary Jo. so she could relocate from the bank and save her department some money.
I inquired, because it comes up every year from the supervisors. It's been in the bank for many, many years, but I was inquiring if you guys had anything here in office, and I've asked the bank about, lowering rent, we're looking at the courthouse. It was an inquiry to find out if possibly you had anything.
And
So nothing's said and done or anything like that, I'm moving, it was just an inquiry to find out.
Can I ask what you're paying in rent right now?
I'd rather not say that. It's low, but I pay for 2 offices, and the second office is mainly storage, but then my intern is in there in the summer.
So when you have an intern, you will, you would be accommodating an intern every summer?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of his work is outside,
Yep.
the office, and he can work from the library, he can work from home because of doing videos and stuff like that. So it's not like I need that second office.
Does the courthouse have any room?
They're always looking for options, and then possibly when the jail is being built, there could be, people moving over. It was just a question, because I didn't know, because it's close proximity, and.
So it makes sense, you guys work hand in hand a lot, but now kind of move some offices around, do we have?
You're not like getting kicked out of there or nothing, you're still there.
I'm still there, yeah, no, I'm not getting kicked out or anything, it's just always come up, and so I always, ask.
You're not saying so much.
Do we use it for storage or anything? Or
Just the garage side of it,
So the actual salon
the
side
actual
of it
salon side is fine.
would be open?
Needs a good cleaning party, but we can handle that.
Like I said, it was an inquiry.
The utilities are already on, we already paid for it as part of the city. I mean, it's not, if anything, it would fill up the space. And there's a little kitchenette, there's a bathroom.
That's something that we could, maybe one of us and go look at.
Yep.
To see.
I have a key.
Well, and then I feel like if they don't use it, we should utilize it for something, I feel like there's probably somebody else who could rent it, we're just using it for nothing. I thought that there was some reason that they didn't want us to rent that out at one point.
Someone wanted to use it for OT.
Yeah, I mean, at one point it was that,
And someone was,
I would love to have another business or another, something up there around.
I don't know if she's still serious, but she was asking about that.
I would say we still have it.
Yeah.
If you wanna go look at the space, it'd be something to be open to.
Take a look at it.
Here, you mean?
No, it's not here, it's on Main Street.
The old fire
The
station.
old fire station where the.
There used to be a beauty shop in there from Holly.
Between,
And Ashley said it's a concession.
that little building.
Oh, okay.
Right there, and then there's
The fire
Oh,
station. like
the
other, that would be
So you'd be right on there.
Yeah, I'll look at anything and consider anything, and again, the board has to,
Yeah.
look at it, just an inquiry, but yeah, if someone could show me that sometime, that'd be great.
I have a key.
So quick history there, just to make it quick, is the salon left, and then Joan was gonna put the police department out there. When we looked at the police department, that it was gonna take about $20,000 in upgrades. So for the police department side, it doesn't have grounded outlets throughout it, and certain other things, so our equipment was at high risk, so then it was backed off from then. Well, then, all that storage space in the big garage is because Ford was leasing that, and so then they were removed from that spot as well, and so then and then the city had plenty of stuff to fill it with, and so they did that, and so then the offices have been vacant since that time.
Okay. Thank you. A wealth of information.
I try.
We are not putting her out of here. Okay, next is adjusting the building permit fee from $30 a permit to $50. We need to cover some of Cody's time.
Oh, and I'm not saying adjusting the,
Not the,
so my thought, is I'm doing the permits, it used to be somebody in the office was doing the permits and was getting paid. Their hourly wage plus the $30. I just was asking for the $30 plus, say, an hourly wage of so much a permit.
So are you thinking that we should raise the price of the permits, or just pay the hourly wage to you?
The $30 plus an hourly wage, if you figure that hourly wage to be $20.
But but it's not passing any fees on to the person that's
Not
not
as of right now.
What's our building permit cost anyway now?
20.
I think that's way too low, or
Something that should
it
be.
should be
We need to
looked
look
at.
at, yeah, there's a whole bunch of different.
And the only reason I'd say not to change it from $30 to $50 is so, say, in 2 years, you take him over, he's getting an hourly wage, collecting $50.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying, do it. Leave it at $30 plus an hourly wage of just a set amount.
And if it would ever come back to City Hall, then
It'll
we'd
go
take that
back to
chunk
the
off.
$30 or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe get changed to.
Well, I'll make the motion to, so you would say move to 15, that $50 would include your hourly wage though, right?
Yes,
So
so
you're
it's
saying
$30 for the permit
and
and
$20
$20 for,
To do the permit,
to do the,
paperwork.
yeah.
Just break away from your day
So
job.
it's basically, if you say it's,
Well,
if that's one hour or 1/3, you know.
I'll make the motion to move it from $30 to $50, and I'm assuming that you can't vote on this one, so.
Need a second?
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
All right, now back to the 5. My goodness. So this one is just giving permission for me to pay the normal things. Payroll taxes, checks relative to payroll, garnishments, insurance, hypers, postage fees, registration fees, just the normal things that come through. Without getting, specific permission for the little stuff.
Need a motion?
Yep.
Um, So you like postage,
Postage, like when we mail the bills out, or we order the envelopes without postage on them.
yep, through the post office?
Yeah.
How will they be paid in the,
Instead of having to bring it to council and get it approved, you guys are okay with me paying this and putting it on the bills.
I see.
Keep that up basically.
We have to do it every year.
Oh, we
It's
got
just
it.
on the new year list.
Basically, we're not changing it, we're
No,
just,
we're not
just
changing
approving
anything.
Approving the
This is
rest.
just-
Approving
yeah.
it for the next year.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright,
Alright, I make the motion.
second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
You're gonna have to sign that, but I'll change the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, the next one, same thing, just a New Year's thing. This is making the official newspaper, the Record Democrat.
I make a motion to.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
Okay. 7 is saying that these are the banks we use. I need to check with Lorenz, to be honest, I'm not sure we still have funds in that bank, but the rest of them, if they ever get over 10 million, you'll be the first to know. This is just a repeat from years gone by. Unless you have another bank you want us to use or a bank you don't want us to use, that's what you would tell me here. Hokie State's our main bank.
What?
Hokie State is our main
This
bank.
I'll make a motion to keep Hokie State as our main bank.
Second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Resolution number 8, these are our current lawyers that we use. Dorsey and Whitney is the ones that we got the GO bond through. We've used them for years. Eric Idy is the one we signed in last fall. And then McMahon, Stillwater, Buskey, we've used them in the past.
I'll make a motion to.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
This 17-2010, this is a 2010 resolution, I just want you guys to see it for the public comment times. There is a 5-minute limit, just so we're all aware of it. Chief Lou found this resolution for us, so we have some guidelines on the public comment.
So I was cleaning all your desk drawers, that you'll find most of you have a pad of paper and some pens in there,
Oh.
and not a lot of other crap, so.
He went through all of it for us. Not yours, Cody.
I got more pens than I did before, so I just put some in there. Thanks.
I know how much you like to write.
Yeah.
The last 5 pages are COPEG, and Dean, you can probably speak to that.
Well, that COPEG is just what, back in the day, Stover wanted to see all the information, so we just put it in a packet.
For the year end.
For every meeting we have, it'll be in your packet.
Okay.
Yeah, we get these monthly.
So everybody can look through it.
You know, there's a cost sharing with that, with everything that went on out at Prairie States and other stuff. And the issue we have is there, you know, is it a fiscal year for that COPEG or is it end of the year?
I'm not following. What?
Well, it's a cost sharing between all the 3 counties, and it bases off of like, we might have to pay in if they spend all their time.
Oh, yeah.
Spending.
They haven't got their budget for that part.
Okay, so I just didn't know with everything with the power outages and then with, you know.
And we haven't had, I think we have a meeting next 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think.
I think it says in here somewhere.
All right,
I know we're gonna
reports.
Okay, Alex,
Nothing much, like I said, I did spend since the last meeting cleaning, that's why you got a cool little map up there. That was us, all the
Where'd
stuff.
the TV go?
So you have this nice new stuff, so. And then what I did for you guys. I got enough books for everybody.
Good, I got one.
And then what I did is so this is what I used to teach from on parliamentary procedure. There always seems to be questions, but this so you guys can sit down and I have a digital copy for you if anybody wants a digital one. But it's kind of a handy little thing, and I know Laura and I are gonna sit down, talk about the agenda, because I know I had made mention too, like old business and stuff kind of maybe getting lost and stuff like this. This actually gives you a model that is kind of the Robert's Rules of Order thought process. So some of the things to try to help up and clean and do some of those things. So not really policey kind of things, but
Is there a website, do they have any videos or anything online?
no YouTube. So no. So it's all. Well, I can make you one. But
No, I just-
no. So I was the university put this
accessible,
out.
and you just have to do the
And
surgery.
they actually they're university press with it. So.
Or ask AI. They don't make it for you.
But like I said, I just know it might help for me or whatever and whatnot. So, so you guys have that. So, other than that, I think, busy day, did tobacco stings today. Only one business in Pocahontas County. Of course, again, for those who don't know why I do county, because the state asked me to do the entire county. So, Rolf was the unfortunate sufferer today. So, yeah, but all the Pocahontas businesses, passed. So, we're doing good. As a matter of fact, actually, some of them were like really happy. They're like, yes. One told me, I told you we're gonna get me.
Clerk and administrator, I do have some estimates rolling for the splash pad.
Good.
And we're thinking right next to the pool.
Yep.
And moving the basketball hoops up to where the west shelter house was.
Okay.
Because that creek curves right there, so
Yeah.
you really, we looked at putting them on, putting it on the other side of the splash pad,
Yeah.
but then you're in the creek. The ball's gonna be in the creek all that. So, it's
So
not,
then what's the discussion on the semis and stuff there? Cause you have a splash pad there.
they can park further over.
So that's actually something that on a good point, we need to bring that up because that is a constant problem too. In the sense, so when the city guys in the winter months, when they're all parking on that north end, it creates a problem anyway, right? Because then the guys have no pile of snow. Again, I have no direction down there for people. So when I go and I ask semi drivers to move it, I've had some very unpleasant returns from some people saying, you're not gonna tell me where to park. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make a bigger deal of this. I'm like, so when the guys dump snow in front of your semi, you've been duly warned because this is where it goes. So that's where it is.
Well,
And I also have a problem with that flatbed that's blocking that entrance. And I've talked to him before, and he is like, I'm going to park where I want to park. So some of the thought process, maybe we need to get a way to clean all of that up. I'm not saying pave it. I'm not saying, but the splash pad is just another thing to help us manage that space.
Yeah, for sure. 'Cause, I mean, it's just, and is it something that we're required to provide a space for semis to park. So that's just a gravel area that the city owns that.
We gave people the option to do that. Well, and the reason was so they weren't driving to their houses and stuff.
parking on the street.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately they still do. But I can't enforce your tonnage limit without signs at every street on a throughfare. So I can't enforce it unless you put so in Fonda we did it. We had 6-ton weight limit signs everywhere they couldn't be. It works out good. Obviously they had fewer streets. You would have to do the same thing. So it leaves me, I don't care if someone takes a power unit home, that's not the problem. When we take a full, loaded or unloaded semi, it's a problem. So, but to explain all of that, that's why the city provided that.
Probably address going forward to figure out, because obviously with a splash pad there, that whole area's gonna have to be cleaned up in a way, and figure something else out.
All the kids are down there anyway. It always worries me, little kids running to the pool and not seeing this, the semis, and I just think it's a dangerous place to have them parked.
Yeah, but there's gotta be some kind of solution that we have.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, I don't think.
Yeah,
We
I agree.
gotta find out some
Not
solution.
arguing, but
Especially once you put the.
there's gotta be some
splash
creative
pad.
thinking to figure out some kind of a solution so that we can do, because that would work out really well there with the bridge, splash pad access to a bathroom, splash pad there, and then clean that area up a little bit too.
Probably upgrade the bathrooms a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think they've been touched in quite a while.
And the co-op, that could be a possibility across from my shop, because I've heard rumors of the propane tank being moved. So that would be a huge area. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. There's really nothing happening there now. So,
I think
might be a
it's
possibility.
worth reaching out to them to see
Yeah.
if there's something that could be done or an allowance there for truck parking.
And then I just need your bills, I only have 2 of them. That's really all I got. Kyle and I have training next week. Brenda's gonna come in and answer phones for us off and on. It's online training, so he can sit in his office or we can stare at the big TV together, but Wednesday, Thursday? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's our first classes.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
See us have crackers.
All right.
Jonathan?
Good.
Dean?
I think the training this afternoon went well, thanks for setting that up. It was very interesting, I think.
And I think every council member,
And
when they come
yeah.
on, should go
Yep.
through that.
I think every time
do
there's an
that.
election cycle, it should be, get a new mayor.
Just as a review, if
Yeah.
nothing else.
For sure.
Our next training is in February, remember, and it's at the hospital at 5:00.
Is that with the hospital, or is it just at the hospital?
At the hospital.
Just at the
It can't be here. It's gotta be off premises. So our mindset.
So does that have to be publicly noted, is that open to the public, or is that
No,
just?
not open, just us.
Yeah, they should be.
Shocker.
Okay, motion to